Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I paused it. Okay, I think I'm live. Okay, you couldn't see me because I had the phone switched the other way, and I'm going to see if I can do my phone this way or not. It's telling me to rotate my device. So I'm going to rotate my device. Hi friends, Madison Murphy here, going live, Facebook Live, on a presentation here on how I released 50 pounds. I did that in 5 months and 1 day. And no cardio machines, no row cardio. So just going over that, a little bit over this now. Sorry, I have not done an extended Facebook Live before. And so I'm just working on getting the camera in there. So hopefully everything's working here on it. Anyway, so as far as I was actually what was considered morbidly obese. That means, you have obese and you're being morbidly obese. That put me in the category of the American Disability Act as far as with, close to a handicap type status. What I would do whenever I went into a public restroom, I'd try and get the biggest stall so I'd fit into there good and go into the handicap stalls, and didn't feel bad that I was using it and not, in a wheelchair, those types of things. But as far as with that, so I would use those stalls. I was way overweight. As far as my highest, I was 315 pounds. At my lowest in my adult life, I remember being at 185. So I was, and that was skinny and rail, and that was when I was in college. And so my highest was like way too high. It was where to the point that my feet were swelling, my legs were swelling. I had it's called edema, my legs and feet. As far as my toes were going numb, and found out later when I lost weight that they were even number than I thought they were. Toes were really numb, and it was something that was like, really taking a toll on my health. And then when I went to the north side of 50, it wasn't good either. So here I was, getting older and way overweight. One of the real kickers, though, that really got me to lose weight is I went just to check my blood pressure one time, and my bottom number's always been a little high in the 90 range on my bottom number of the blood pressure. You've got the systolic and diastolic. And I went and took my blood pressure, and my bottom number, the diastolic, the bottom number, was where my top number should be. And I used to work in emergency rooms, intensive care as an RN, and that was, life-threatening, I knew, and not in a way, it was. That was critical. And the only thing that I had to do other than medications, and I wasn't going to take medications, was to lose weight. I had already not eating salt. I already don't eat salt. Sometimes if I'd eat out, I'd eat some salty food, but not a whole lot of salt. I never salted my food, not even the natural sea salt or real salt or different salts. I really didn't use any salt, and so that was where I was at. It was either looking at medications, and that's another story. But I haven't had medications for a long time. And the last time I had Tylenol and aspirin was November 1999. And so this is 2017 when I actually checked my blood pressure, kind of towards the beginning of the year. And it took me till March to actually start losing the weight. So March I went through a goal setting program. Actually I started before March. I started that in January and was doing these monthly goals, and then my third one I set was in March, monthly goal, and that was to lose 10 pounds. So I set this goal to lose 10 pounds and in a month, 10 pounds in 30 days. And I've seen other people set a goal for 20 pounds, and that's what I was originally thinking. Then I adjusted it to 10 pounds to be something that I felt like reasonable and doable, so I'd have that success. So to lose weight, I had to do something. I had to do some type of change in my life. And I'm going to do a disclaimer here. I'm not a doctor, and so as far as with any of this information is not any medical advice. I'm not licensed as a RN anymore anywhere, and I do have degrees. I have a master's degree in psychiatric mental health, but I'm not licensed in that area anymore. I chose to go different paths with my life and don't need those licenses. But so this is like for educational information only, and just a personal story on what I did to release the weight. So back to the setting out to release weight. I needed to do something different. So as far as eating, I was eating okay. I wasn't eating a lot of sugar. I wasn't drinking soda pop, high fructose corn syrup. I wasn't eating any of that. As far as with the, oh, there it goes. So when you have a tripod on a kind of a soft surface, that can happen. Okay, so then, little comic relief there. So as far as make a change, so high fructose corn syrup that hurt my teeth. So candy with the soda pop has that all in it. Wasn't eating that. I was eating more organic, but I was eating too much food. I was eating too much food, and so the one thing I did was I would cut down on the amount of food that I ate. Since then, I have actually starting to develop. I'm developing another type of a different eating way of changing eating habits. It's doing a lifestyle change with eating. As far as what I did is I did some, back to the releasing the weight, I did some lifestyle changes with that were minor. They're minor lifestyle changes and progress step by step. So as far as with the exercise, okay, I've got to do an exercise program. I was already doing this checklist where in the morning I did these 3 to 5 things. I did about 5 things that I would check off if I got them done in the morning in the AM period, and then in the evening or the PM period I did some things I was checking off. 5 things, so 3 to 5 things. I was already doing that, so okay, I'll put on there exercise. So I started out exercising a lot. I mean, 3 times a week I would exercise 20 to 30 minutes. So that's how I started out. I started out 3 times a week, minor changes to gradually increase. So after a week, I did increase it to 4, and then after 2 weeks to 5. So I was doing 5 times a week, exercising about 30 minutes. Before it was starting 20 to 30 minutes, and this is 30 minutes. And the exercise that I do was different than what some people have taught. And some people are taught to do, a lot of cardio, cardio machines to lose weight. Well, I had, a couple of years ago, came across the idea and researched and looked into it to myself, that men over 40, which is definitely over 40, should not use cardio machines because that can lower the testosterone, and if testosterone is lower, then you gain weight. Men gain weight. And that, to me, actually, I go, okay, that's kind of a cycle there. So you gain weight, lower your testosterone. Gain weight, lower your testosterone. Kind of a cycle with gaining weight. So I had to look at breaking that cycle. The other reason I didn't use cardio machines is I get bored. I get bored with them, and if it's something that's going to be boring, then I'm not going to stick with it. And, you know, treadmill, definitely not the treadmill or even running. Part of it when you're, 315 pounds, running, and I'm about 6'2", 6'2 and a half, so I'm, taller for that, but still, the running is bad on the knees and ankles and joints. The sitting in the stationary bicycle, I didn't mind that, but that's also a type of a cardio machine too, so I was looking at avoiding that. So what I did is I came up with a weight routine. And how did I come up with this? Just experience. I've experienced working out with weights since high school, and knew different types of ways to working out with weights. And I never really bulked up with the weights, but when I did football and wrestling in high school, I did some weight training. Well, I did a different type of weight training than I did back then too, a different type of weight exercise. It wasn't really what I call weight training, it was exercise. And so what I did, and still didn't want to make it too complicated so that I could stick with it. And so what I did is I did four different stations that were with the upper body, the arms. So I did 4 different stations with weights with the upper body and 2 with the lower. Part reason only 2 with the lower, that's one of my more strengths, always has been, and that's what I had available. So I had this gym at work that is available to, and it's like a good size motel gym, kind of compared to that. It's pretty good. It's better than some of the motel gyms that I stayed in. I mean, it had like 3 treadmills and 2 bicycles and an elliptical, but plus had some weights as far as also weight machines and then free weights. Well, I'm going to be working out by myself, so starting out I said, well, I'm not going to be doing free weights. I'm going to do weight machines so it's controlled. And so what I did as far as the weights then, I did a lower amount of weight. So I did the weights low enough so that it would push me where I could do 3 sets of 15. So I did 3 reps, they're 15 reps, 3 sets. And I did that with each of those. And sometimes I had like about 5 that I would do for the upper body and rotated between, a couple of them rotated. But I did 4 upper body and 2 lower body legs. And that just kept at it. Now, once in a while I would do some walking, and that was kind of like a bonus to it, but it wasn't any really jogging or a heavy that I would call cardio. So I would do that walking a little bit at a time, just as a bonus. But I do the weight routine as my main focus. And I wasn't wanting to bulk up necessarily, and I just wanted to lose weight. And I really didn't care if I lost a little bit of muscle or if it was water weight, because I had water weight, I had fat, and all kinds of weight. So it didn't matter what kind of weight I was losing, I just needed to lose it. So I actually started out when I measured myself at 311. So I started at 311 pounds. And it was within about the first 26 days, actually, is when I hit the first 10 pounds for the goal. And so that was really great. I was excited. Okay, I've reached that. And I did that for this goal-setting program that I was in. It was the end of the program, and I was continuing on, still going to be doing it, was actually doing the program again a second time. But I stuck with, even though it wasn't my main goal, I stuck with the losing weight or releasing weight, and stuck with that as my goal. Now, some of the things that I did in addition to just the exercise and some things mentally. So I did some things mentally. I always looking at doing positive statements. Affirmations is one word for it. Declarations is another. So positive power statements. So I would do the positive power statements, doing those twice a day. They really weren't necessarily with releasing weight, but just building up me mentally. However, I also have, and I'm not getting into details of it here, I also had a vision board. And I put this on my vision board about releasing 10 pounds. That's why, the first part on this. Now, I had something on my vision board from before about releasing weight and just hadn't really stuck with it or haven't done anything additional. So there it was on my vision board at first, but now I'm doing something about it. So just putting it up on the vision board didn't help me start to release the weight. I had to do something about it. And of course, a vision board, you have a board and you put a picture of what you want to get or what you want to accomplish, and you can have words associated with it. And of course, this is just words because it was, I guess, a picture of words. Even if you write words, they're actually characters. So I put on there to release 10 pounds. And then I kept going, and then I put on there, the last one I put on there was to get down. I actually changed it up to get down to 250, so 250 pounds, which I have reached that. So that is more than 50 pounds, but that was took me another about a month and a half. So about 6.5 months, I lost 61 pounds from when I measured from 311, 65 from the 315 for my high, and that felt really great to lose the weight. I noticed that the other day, actually, when I went into a stall in the bathroom. I didn't go to the last one that was the big one for the big one. I went to the regular one, and I noticed, wow, this is big. It was actually big. It seemed bigger, but my perception was because I'm smaller, it seemed bigger and it fit great. And another place it's Friday. Just Friday I went into another one that was even really smaller than normal, and I fit in there great, better than I would ever before, and that's just a great feeling. The other thing is, the other outcome of it is that my feet, I got feeling back in my feet, and my socks, I thought at first my feet had shrunken, so my socks were bunching up, but then I realized, no, I'm able to feel that my socks are bunched up in my feet when I couldn't feel that they were before, because I have these loose socks that I'd wear because of the swelling in the feet. And that was just something for me when I realized how numb my feet really were. I didn't know until I actually released the weight and could feel it. It's kind of like that old saying on, how do you boil a frog? If you take a pot of really hot water, you throw a frog in it, it'll jump out. But if you put it in the cold water and slowly turn it up, then the frog won't jump out and it'll boil and cook the frog. So that's what's going on with my feet. They're slowly getting numb enough that I didn't realize how numb they were. And it's a great thing. My toenails weren't looking really great either, but now they're looking a lot better too. So, as far as a lot of the changes, the changes that went on were just phenomenal. One of the exciting things was for me is when I went from wearing like a 3X and 4X shirts down to even a 2X. That was even exciting. Then when I got to the extra large, I got this extra large dress shirt. That was just awesome. When I went from ones that it was a 17 to 17 and a half is the size on the neck, and I was wearing 19, which is about 3X, 4X on the dress shirts, just so it would be wide enough. I had this one shirt here that I would put on. This is a 3X fitted core shirt So it's like a t-shirt, but it's fitted. It's fitted. This was tight. This is really tight on me. This is a 3X, and it was so tight that basically I wear a suit jacket over it just because it was so tight. So this is the 3X. This one I'm wearing now is an extra large fitted one, core shirt too. So this is the training fit or like a fitted. It's basically close to a large because it's fitted. And it's really exciting when the regular ones, when I went to an extra large of a regular, and then now it's a fitted one. Now this is something else that I actually got this when the other one was just the right size. When the 3X was just the right size, I actually picked this one up in advance before I started wearing it. Now I picked up another one in advance too. That is a large. So this one is a large fitted, and so that was really exciting for me, or training fit, when I was able to go down from a 3X fitted down to a large. You know, the other thing it was just really exciting for me, and you know, I just am so glad that I'm getting into better health. I didn't realize how much overweight I was until I released the weight. I didn't realize, because my arms are thinner, and some of it's need to do some muscle on it too, but they are thinner even than the wrist than they used to be. I knew as far as my rings were tight, I could get them on. Sometimes I'd have to get them wet or put something underneath them to loosen them up, to get them off. But now they're the rings loose, and that's, you know, it's really a great feeling, because this is I knew it would get to this point. I was at this before, but I just forgot how it felt, because it's been years. It's been years. As far as you know, with shorts, I usually was wearing a large, more so actually shorts. On my shorts, I wear a smaller size than what I would on the upper. A large, extra large, and then the other day I actually got some. I'm going to back up for them. I got some medium shorts that I'm wearing, and that I was stoked. I was always wondering, okay, are medium going to fit me? Medium going to fit me? And finally, I had a few moments to try on a pair, and they did fit, and that's really great feeling for that. And so as far as with the you know, when my pant size, I was up to a 42 as my main, pushing a 44 on my pant size. The suit size, I was 52 was tight. I was up to a 54. One of my suits was actually a 56. That was a little loose on it at the time. And then when I put on a pair of 48, I have my main suit is a 48, and it was fitting me a little tight like my 52 was, but now it fits me good. And I even picked up one that said, I've got to double check, it says it's a 44, but I think it's more of a 46. A 46 on the suit size. Pant size, generally at a 38 now. However, I did get a pair of, after I lost the 50 pounds a couple of months ago, got a pair of 36 jeans. And that was just great. That was just great, getting that pair of 36 jeans. That was the first time this century that I could fit into a 36. And I thought I was actually going to get down to 38. I was going to be happy at 38. Got into 36. First time this century, and earlier today, I was trying to figure out the last time I had a pair of 36, and it might have been in 1995 might have been the last time, or 2017 that I could fit into it. And that's one time I lost weight. Now that time I lost weight was not the best way. That was unfortunately with fen-phen. This time, no medications, no drugs or anything to lose weight with this one. The first time I lost weight, I did some diet changes on it, and that ever since the third grade, 8 years old, I've always been overweight except for 2 other periods of my life. And one of them was in my sophomore year of college. I decided I'm going to lose weight, and that's when I got down to the 185. I never thought I could get below 198, and got down to I was at 250 then, and got down to 185, and did some simple changes in my diet. I would eat a lot of bread, and then I made sandwiches. I took one piece of bread, cut it in half, put the meat in the middle, and that's what I had for my lunch. And I exercised and did some other things and lost weight. Well, this time I actually eating a lot less bread than I used to do, and I eat whole wheat bread when I do have bread. But this time I needed to do something a little bit more with the exercise, with the weights. A lot different when you're over 50 than when you're 18, 19 years old. A lot different. However, it does feel good to lose the weight. And so I'm going to wrap it up now. It's been probably about a half an hour. I haven't been watching the time really great. And so as far as, I'd invite you, if you want to do a change in your life, do it step by step and a little by little, and do something that's doable. I like to use the word reasonable, something that's reasonable and doable, and something that you will stick to. So do that step by step. I didn't have time to go into the a diet. I don't want to call it a diet. I want to call it a minor lifestyle change in eating, minor eating habit change. Just kind of an idea that I had came up when I was pondering on it a couple of weeks ago. So I'll be looking at going into that sometime. So I don't have that scheduled yet. I just got to get that scheduled, and then just grateful for all those who would here want to learn some more. Thank you for watching this video, and then just to invite you to look at something, if it's releasing weight or something else in your life that you want to change. Do some small steps and keep track of it. That's one of the main things is I kept track. Everybody have a great day.